it's Amanda. Tonight I'm going to be making enchiladas for my family. Please excuse my dogs, they get very lovable at night. So if you'd love to see me cook tonight, go ahead and continue watching. And don't forget to subscribe and like the video. Hope you enjoy. First we're going to go ahead and put some oil in our pan. So as you see right here, I have my pan and the fire is on right now. So I'm going to add some oil so that I can get my corn tortillas put into the oil so that it softens them. That way whenever I go to wrap them up with the meat and the cheese and so forth, it's easier for me. So as you see here, I'm just going to put a little bit of oil in here just so that it's kind of a lot of oil, but mainly it's just so that it can warm up the tortillas, which I have right here. Just some corn tortillas I'm going to put in here. Before I forget to mention, you want to let your oil heat up. That way you're not just putting your tortilla in there and it doesn't get hot. It doesn't go ahead and soften. So as you see here, you can see a little bit of bubbles around. So I'm going to go ahead and put my first tortilla in there. You see it has a little bit of bubbles when it enters. And you see it's now frying. So what I'm going to do is let it fry, and I'm going to flip it to the other side. And I'm going to go ahead and put it on this plate right here. I have a family of 4. So we actually I make about 14 enchiladas, so that it's enough for everybody. So you can see the bubbles right here forming. So I'm just going to carefully flip it over, just so that it has enough oil on here so I can roll it whenever I'm done. So as you can see, this is the second one. I'm now going to be careful with this. The oil is hot, so you do want to be careful when you flip it. And you just want to keep doing this till you have all your tortillas done. And so let me finish and I'll be right back with you. So now that you have all your tortillas over here softened like this, you're going to just leave your pan there. Let that oil cool down before you dispose of it. You never want to put hot oil down your sink. So now we're going to be going ahead and start to actually make the enchiladas from these. So just continue watching. Okay, so now that your tortillas are done, I'm going to show you. I actually have hamburger meat that I already made yesterday, so it is good to go. And I know I'm a cheater. I do not like grating cheese, so I buy the cheese that is already grated, and this actually came from HEB. And then my family really does love the green sauce. I know a lot of people like red sauce, but we're a green sauce family. So we actually use this one from Hatch, and it's just green chili enchilada sauce with roasted garlic. Not sure my kids know roasted garlic's in it, but they like it anyway. What? So what we're going to do is actually get your tortilla. You're going to get some of your sauce right here, just about a spoon. As you see here, I have mine. And you're going to pour it in here and just, move it around. Make sure it covers all of your tortilla in there. Then from there, you're going to get a little bit of hamburger meat. You don't want to put too much because you want to be able to have enough for your pan for however many you need to make. So as you see, I'm just going to put a little bit. And then best part ever is you add the cheese. And I know my family, we love cheese. So I usually actually use 2 bags of cheese with ours, because one bag goes in the enchiladas and then another bag goes on top of the enchiladas. So as you see here, I'm just going to add a little bit of this on here, a little bit of the cheese. Oh, and one thing I forgot to mention is with your pan that you use, I'm actually using this glass pan. You're going to want to spray it with some vegetable oil because it is going to go in the stove and the oven, and you do not want it to get stuck, the tortillas, to the pan whenever you're trying to take it out. So this is actually just, like I said, comes from HEB as well. I'm a huge HEB fan, buy everything at HEB pretty much. So we're just going to spray our pan. Make sure you coat all the way around, just like when you do a cake, because the tortillas are going to be touching the ends of it. So after that, you're going to get your tortilla that you have here, and you're going to roll it. You're going to make sure, and it is going to sound a little crunchy because remember you did put it in the oil. So you're going to roll it up. It's going to look like this, just like a little taquito. But instead, you're going to put it in your pan, and you want to put the side that you wrap, the bottom part of it that's actually closed on the bottom, that facing bottom. That way it does not open up and get smushed around with the other ones. So you're just going to continue doing this until all of your tortillas are done. So I'll be back in a minute. Don't forget also, you want to warm up your oven to 250. That way your cheese can melt properly. One thing I also like to do on the bag, just to make it a little easier for me, I usually get my scissors out and I'll just cut it down the middle. And make sure I cut it so that the bag is completely opened. So it's just a lot easier to grab the cheese whenever you are making your enchiladas. So I'm going to continue doing this, and hopefully you're making enchiladas at your home as well. Open like this, it does make it a lot easier to just grab the cheese and put it in here. And like I said, whenever you roll it up, you want to roll it where this part that's facing right here, that's the part that goes down. And don't mind these little extra pieces that fall on your plate. You can always just add them into your last enchilada, or if anything, if you like to keep everything separate until you actually are putting it together, you can always just put the hamburger meat back in the bowl that you had it in before you started assembling your enchiladas. So I'm just going to continue making these, and I'll be right back with you whenever they're all completed. Okay, so now that you have all your enchiladas in here, what you're going to do now is get the rest of your green sauce, minus the spoon. You don't need the spoon anymore. And you can just go ahead and just pour this in here, all within inside your pan on top of all your enchiladas. And then what you can do is get the spoon back and just make sure that you spread it around so that it's on top of all of them. Once you have done this, you're going to see that all of it is now full of the green sauce. So what you're going to do now is get your cheese, and very generously, if you love cheese, it's just as much as we do, and kind of just pour all the cheese on here. I usually just literally pour it on here, and then I'll kind of move it around. This is why I said that me and my family do love a lot of cheese, because I actually get 2 bags of the cheese, and I will usually use about 1.5 bags of cheese just on the topping of the enchiladas. So I see here I'm gonna add more cheese to here. Not the whole bag, because I do want to make sure that I have some for another day if I need more cheese. But then again, you know, you can always go back to the store and always buy more. So I still feel I need more cheese. So you can put just as much cheese as you and your family like. You don't have to put as much as I'm putting. As I said, me and my family just really do like cheese. This is actually one of my children's favorite meals, is enchiladas. My grandmother used to make this all the time when I was a little girl. So it's just, you know, it's always nice to bring that and cook it for my children when my grandmother used to make it for her grandchildren. So as you see, you might have some more remnants left on the plate that you were making your enchiladas on. You can always just get this and pour it on top in here if you did not use it in your last one, in your last enchilada. And then if you had hamburger meat left over too, you can always add that in here as well. I have a little bit in here left, so I'm just going to pour it all in here, and just do the same thing with the spoon, you know, generously just put it all the way around. That way it's covering majority of them, so, you know, it gives you a little bit of extra meat other than just what is in your enchilada. So again, if you want to add more cheese, you can do multiple layers of this. But it is now ready to go in the oven here. And when it comes out of the oven, it is actually going to be nice and melted. So let's go put it in the oven for 250, and you're just going to leave it in there that way that the cheese can melt. If you're like me, while your food is cooking in the oven, you can always go ahead and start cleaning up behind yourself. You know, put the things in the dishwasher, put it in the sink. A couple good sides for enchiladas. You can always do white rice or red rice. We actually are gonna have red rice tonight that I have already made, so I'm just gonna warm it up. You can also do different types of beans. You can do refried beans, you can do charro beans. It's just whatever your particular family likes. So I will show you once my enchiladas are done. You'll know your enchiladas are done when they come out and the cheese is nice and melted. And if you put hamburger meat on top, you can see right here, it has nicely glued itself in a way to the cheese. So let me go ahead and serve it so I can show y'all what it looks like after it's served. As you see here, here's the final product. I know I do not usually, I am not gifted when it comes to serving food. But as you can see here, it's nice and cheesy, and you can see the meat and everything, how it's so nicely melted. Thank you for coming and joining me tonight as I made enchiladas for my family. Hopefully when you make them for your family, you will have everyone eating them and zero complaints. I usually have none left over. There tends to be a somewhat of disagreement when it comes to the last one of them. So hopefully you enjoyed this, and leave a comment whenever, if you make this, or if you have your own special kind of way of making enchiladas. Maybe you do it differently. So please leave a comment, like, even share the video. Maybe some of your friends would like this. Don't forget to subscribe. Hope you enjoyed it. Have a good night.